So generally step 2 in the AutoBidder setup process is the logic page. The logic page is essentially where it determines how your AutoBidder form behaves in some of the additional features. So let's go ahead and go through it one by one. So first you've got your progress guide. This is basically a little progress bar that shows at the top that basically tells the user how much of the form they have left. I usually toggle that off personally. Second, we've got the booking feature. This has to be toggled on, and you have to set up your calendar page. We're going to get more into the booking in a later step, but to generally turn it on, you're going to do that through the logic page. You've got a service cart feature. This would basically be a feature that will allow the user to book with only certain features. So if they got a price for multiple services and they only want to go with one of them, this would be come into play. Then we've got auto expand and collapse services. This is just basically if a user selects multiple services, the way the form would work is that it would, instead of showing all of it at once, it would show just one service. Once a user completes that one, that tab would close, or that accordion would close, and then the next one would show. It basically just minimizes the amount of space that's required for the forms, less scrolling. Then we've got route optimization. Basically, the way route optimization works is you set a maximum distance that you want to travel between jobs. And if you have this also only applies if you have booking turned on. If a customer wants to book, they could not book a day that is more distance than whatever it is you set here if there's another customer booked for that day. I know that sounded a little bit confusing. I probably could have explained it better, but if you have a customer that's set in location A, and a customer comes through and their address is more than whatever threshold you set here, they couldn't book that day. They could book another day, but not that day, okay? Moving on, we've got form titles. This is basically just the titles that show on each step of the form. So like the intro to the services section, the pricing page, the calendar page, a little title and subtitle. I usually like to turn those off or just hide those, but it's totally optional. You also have the option to add a secondary button. This is basically what shows up when a customer is done with the form, and you can link them to a thank you page or a what to expect next page just to complete your funnel. And then you've got a lead capture message, thank you message. This is a really good idea to put kind of like a disclaimer that, the price is subject to change. It's not a fully official price, like, still going to review it and so on. Or you could just say thank you, however you prefer to do that. It's totally up to you. Then you've got bundle pricing. The way this works is you can set a bundle or discount percentage and then a minimum number of services. So in this example, if the user chooses two or more services, they would get a 10% total discount. And you can lower that, increase that, make it a minimum of 3, whatever you want to do. Then we've got customer discounts. This is where you can do add your own military discount, elderly discount, neighborhood discount, whatever you want to do. If a user selects it, then they could get whatever percent you set right here. Okay. All right. Then we've got guide videos. These are pretty self-explanatory. These are pretty useful to add, in your intro section, the pricing page, the booking page. You can also add video guides to each individual service. So if a user selects a specific service and you want to have a video explaining that in more detail, you can do that as well. That would be through the formula builder page. You've got sales tax, pretty self-explanatory. If your local area makes you charge it, you just toggle that on, set your rate, and then it'll include that on the pricing form. Pricing disclaimer. I mentioned earlier you can use a thank you message for that, but you also can toggle on this pricing disclaimer. You can also toggle it off if you don't want it. Then you've got your lead contact info. This is basically, customer's name, email, phone, address, notes, how they hear about us, lead source, so on. Again, totally up to you whether you want to add this or not, or you have the option. You can toggle on everything or toggle it off. It does require you to get their name and email, but the other fields are optional. Image upload is optional. Then finally, last but not least, we have location-based pricing. So basically, you set your address of your business, and if a customer gets a bid, whatever address they enter, if it's outside of your range, you can set an extra fee for that. So in this example, let's say you set your radius at 30 miles. You set a fee per mile. Maybe we raise this up to $1 or here in $2 per mile. Let's say they're 50 miles away. So they're 20 miles outside of your range. If you do $2 a mile, that would be an extra $40. If you put it up to $10 a mile and they're an extra 20 miles out, it would be an extra $200. Okay, and you can also do a percent of quote per mile as well, which is a bit more complicated, but it works basically the same way. All right, so that pretty much covers the logic page. Hopefully that answered any questions you might have. If you have any other questions, please let me know.